All right, about to get started here. Market's opening in 30 seconds. Keeping a close eye on this level. Currently, it's set to open just around, which is 424.5. Might get into puts if we break under these two lows from yesterday right over here. Tesla's down over 1% right now. Snap is also down percent. AI is down 1%. Nothing too crazy so far at the open. This SPHR, it's just popped 2.5% right at the open. Now it's up 3%. I was looking at this last night on stream, up 4% now. Wow, what a move. Tesla's now down 2%. And I might go short / get puts. We break under 424.5 on the SPY. So we're about half a point away from that level right now. Currently, I'm in no positions. Nvidia is getting some volume here, pushing higher. Q is also at a level right here. Really nothing right now, just waiting to see whether or not it can break under this 424.5 level. 3/4 of a point away from that level. Pattern's pretty much like this. This is called a right-angled ascending broadening wedge, which is a bearish pattern. And this is a real pattern because you have 5 touches. You have 3 touches on this trend line, and you have 2 touches on the bottom trend line. So any rally over here in which you fail to break above this high from yesterday will be known as a partial rise, which means that there's a 70% chance of breaking down. If on any rally over here you cannot break above that high over there, there will be a 70% probability that this pattern breaks down and it breaks under 424.5. So that's why I'm not getting into puts right now, because just in case it does rally before breaking down, I don't want to get crushed on theta and just premium in general. But I do think that, if it tops out literally anywhere, whether it's here or up here, and then breaks under that level, could be a short opportunity. So that's the main thing I'm waiting for right now. But it has to confirm. Apart from that, I'm not really watching much else because the individual names I was looking at were kind of on the long side, and this is a short bias idea for the market. So I don't want to go in long individual stocks right now. I'm waiting for the SPY to break down. It just doesn't make sense to me. So this is like the main thing I'm looking for right now. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't break down, then I'll just go look at other stuff. But for right now, waiting to see if it can break under that support level. Trying to be patient with it. Quick turnaround for Spear. Not really seeing any crazy things happening in the market today. Mara's down 5%. The Hang Seng Index had a really bad day overnight. Intel's up a couple percent. Rivian's down a few percent. Flux down a few percent. Another move higher for the 10-year. Wow. All right, absolutely nothing since the open. Let me go look around a little bit. See if I can find anything here. So I do already have some alerts set up. I've got meta. I have this level over here I've been watching, 307. I already have an alert set up just above that level. In case it breaks it. I'm gonna lower the alert just a little bit. And so I'm watching that resistance level. I've got AMD, which 15-minute chart hasn't broken out of it, but it does have a wedge over here on the 15. And if we zoom out over here, this is a key level right there, 103. You got this high, these lows, and then these highs over here, and then even these recent highs. I'm gonna lower that a little bit. 103.23 is an interesting level for an AMD intraday breakout. That's, if it gets above 254.5, that'd be interesting, but right now it's kind of around. Pretty much it. Apple, this is a big retest. This was your major support, 174-ish. For all of these lows over here. Now it's just recently flipped into resistance. Will be interesting if it breaks back above that. So I'll set an alert there. That's pretty much it. I don't see a whole lot apart from that to be talking about right now. If we go over to the 5 on the Qs, I guess this could just be looked at as a triangle. Like that. This could be another way to look at the price action right now. But it is pretty slow, and I'm not trying to force any trades in slow price action like that. That kind of was where I messed up right over here yesterday for the entry on my puts yesterday. Just rather wait for the actual breakdown move. Starting to push higher a little bit on the SPY here. This looks interesting on Tesla. It's like left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline. Kind of has the inverse head and shoulders look to it. It does have a gap to fill at 251. I don't see any patterns apart from that. Interesting. Let's get this trend line now. Keep bouncing off of it. Still no trades, nothing's confirming yet. Maybe the only proactive right now could be an Apple short. That is something I am considering. This just looks like a bear flag. Straight back up into the previous support. But the SPY is going the other way right now. Pretty decent push higher for SPY right now. Gotta be patient. Wait until the Qs break the triangle. SPY breaks the wedge. Just in between the two of them right now. Getting close to the gap fill right now. This AMD wedge really looks interesting to me. Really does. AMD filling its morning gap down. Still in no positions. I might get into AMD calls if it keeps doing what it's doing right now. I'm gonna put a starter in. Put a starter size in. Put in an order for 2 contracts. Only one of them is filled. So, all right, both of them got filled. I got 2 contracts in AMD Lotto calls. Just a starter size right now because it is technically just filling this gap and still a little bit worried about SPY. All right. Remember, I can sell this at any moment. Not financial advice. Still watching this SPHR. I don't have a position. Honestly, I wouldn't even do live trading with it. I was just looking at the SPHR options. They look too liquid for that, so I don't think I'm gonna do live trading with that. Honestly. These are getting close to the top of this triangle. That is also getting close to a potential breakout level. Kind of like an inverse head and shoulders. So if the Qs get above this triangle and if Meta gets Above 307, I might also pick up meta calls. I'm not sure yet. Probably the only way I'm gonna get calls like on the Qs of the SPY is if they get above yesterday's session highs. If they just hold up though, then I might play calls on some names like AMD and Meta, but I need more confirmation. All I have right now is just a starter position in AMD calls. The SPY puts are still a potential if it breaks under 425.5. Remember, any lower high here is a partial rise. Here's what I'm gonna, because we've got this level right here, which is the gap fill in these highs from 215 yesterday on the SPY. I'm gonna hedge the AMD just a little bit. And I'm gonna pick up literally one out of the money put for the SPY. If this goes to zero, I don't care at all. Literally 50 bucks. The only reason I'm doing that right here is in case somehow I'm able to kind of pick a top here, which, and I'm only risking 50 bucks if I'm wrong. Then by the time it comes down to this support area, I'd already have, a little bit of a percentage profit before it even breaks down on SPY puts. So that might be something I do. Second, waiting to see more confirmation on that. I think if this AMD setup even goes over to the daily. Still debating whether or not doing that SPY action. Right now I'm still just an AMD. I was just kind of walking through my thought process, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'm kind of thinking over it again. It's like, is it necessary? It's even if I make 100%, it's only going to be 50 bucks. Okay, well, maybe that would have worked. Okay, biting my tongue a little bit. Wow. Okay, maybe that would have been a good idea. That's so funny. I would have already been up like 50%. Wow. It would have only been 20 bucks though. Very interesting move down. That is actually, I just find that funny that I was debating it. And this is what happened literally seconds later. It's just actually funny. All right. This guy only put a starter in the AMD calls. You can't make that up though. That's some real composite operator type stuff. What did Apple just do? A lot of potential trades now starting to appear, but we still don't know which way these indices are breaking to yet. AMD did hold VWAP. I'm still my AMD calls. Apple has a major bear flag, so AMD and Apple one looks bullish, one looks bearish to me. SPY still in this pattern, which is neutral for right now. If AMD gives a view up, I'm stopping out. I have some orders in for SPY puts. I got filled on a couple of those SPY puts. Let's see. All right, I have a starter size in AMD calls and SPY puts, and I'm going to be cutting the AMD. I only lost $60 on AMD. All right, I just stopped out of the AMD, $60 loss. I got filled on more SPY puts. I have a full position in SPY puts right now. This was a partial rise. There's a 70% chance of breaking down here on the SPY. I'm up 12% on SPY puts. That's my only position right now. $16% on SPY puts, 20%. Trying to get filled on my first take profit. Filled. All right, I just got filled. I'm currently up 32% on SPY puts. Taking a little bit of profits off the table here. Might be back testing right now. That was a 0.5% move down on the SPY in 5 minutes. Wow. It was so funny how I was debating getting puts like literally seconds before that 0.5% move down. It would have only been one put though. It was just going to be like a for fun type of thing. What it is. See if that Q's broke down. Yeah, Q's just broke down from this triangle and that support level. Apple breaking down from this bear flag. Just filled a little bit more profits. I've almost taken about half profits. I'm up 32% on SPY puts. Up 43%. Gonna try to sell a little bit more. Filled. I've taken just over half my profits on the SPY puts. I had 9 contracts, I have 4 left. And I'm currently up 43%. I'm up 47%. And I have 3 contracts left right now. I had 9 contracts when I got into the position. Only 3 are left. I'm up 45%. %50 profit on SPY puts right now. Just got filled on another take profit order. All right, I had 9 contracts in SPY puts. I only have 2 left right now. I'm up 57%. Okay. Zoom out a little bit here. Really nothing until these lows over here. Qs are nearing some Qs have support at 357 from these lows over here. Taking one more contract off the table at 50% profit. All right, all I have now is a runner. Okay. I've sold 8 out of my 9 puts for profit on the SPY. All I have is 1 contract left. Great move. All good. All good that it's rallying right now. I just took profits on 8 out of my 9 contracts. No issue with the rallying right now at all. retesting prior support as a resistance right now on the SPY. The support did flip into a resistance. I still get like that needs to be clipped. I still can't get over the fact that I was like, what about puts right over here, because it's filling this gap and has this resistance, and then literally 20 seconds later it drops 0.5%. That was the funniest thing ever. Can't even make that stuff up. This is why like I love doing the recordings on live trading, because like I can look back at all of this stuff. All right, pretty good retest of the previous support, flipping into a resistance on the SPY. It's definitely a lot easier to watch that happen when all you have left is a runner than a full position size. Because I would have just probably watched my whole position go from 50% profit to like 10% profit in 2 minutes. But watching one contract do that's really not stressful at all, especially when I just took a bunch of profits at 50%. Now we're back down to lows on the same candle. Wow. Pretty interesting. After like a very slow open, this is some really interesting movement in the market right now. And there were potential long opportunities on individual stocks, but because of how the SPY was looking, I was not comfortable taking them. AMD was the only one I tried. I had no problem stopping out of it for a $60 loss. I'm up over $400 on the SPY puts, and I took a $60 loss on AMD. I gave it a chance. It didn't confirm with me or for me. That was it. All right. Rating this level I have on my chart at 423. I am currently up 75% on my final SPY put. Breaking under that level, getting close to testing these lows from Wednesday, September 27th. Just broke under 423. I'm now up 85%. And I just got filled on my final take profit. I think that was maybe around like 75 to 80% profit on the final one. All right, so pretty good trade. The recap for today, take a look at it. Today, I lost $67 on AMD, right? I saw this wedge, it was breaking out of it, but I stopped out of it right over here. It was a very small $60 loss. Just didn't play out. And, I went into that with a small position size because I was bearish on the overall market. So then I went against the market. I went and got puts on the SPY, and I made $520 on this SPY breakdown, which if you watch the live trading recording on my YouTube channel, you can see how perfectly I was anticipating this top over here. It was actually funny that it dropped 0.5% literally on the next candle when I was talking about it. So made $520 on SPY puts, lost $67 on AMD calls, and I am done for the day. up 450 bucks on the day today. I'm gonna call it a day. I gotta go to class now. Pretty productive morning. Only took 50 minutes. And there it is. So thank you all for joining the live trading. We'll be live again tonight on the stream, and then live again in the Discord tomorrow morning for more live trading. So I'll see you all there. Have a great rest of your day. Until next time.